beat the Georgia Bulldogs, you're gonna feel the bulldog.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Row 60, a Georgia football podcast. My name is Clark Gaines. Joining me today, as always, Adam Thornton.
Boom!
And this is show number 97.
Woo, man.
Are you guys alive out there?
I'm telling you, my heart is still trying to get back in rhythm.
Yeah.
Like, still struggling, Clark. Even, 48 hours out later is when we're recording this on a Sunday night. And, man, I am still struggling from Friday night. And the physical toll, not even just the emotional toll, the physical toll that game took on us, man.
Yeah, Georgia wins 44-42 over the Nerds. And, my gosh almighty, ESPN Instant Classic. What a game. And what a weekend of college football. All around the board, it was an amazing week of college football. It feels like 07.
That's right.
Adam, college football needs to just go home. It's drunk.
It is, Clark. It is it's crazy, man, with just what's going on with it. And you know, Clark, a lot of people said this 12-team playoff would ruin the sport, ruin the regular season and the meaning of some of the games in the regular season. And I was kind of leaning towards there, as a traditionalist and not wanting to change things. But it may in the future, but for this year, it has been far from it, man.
Yeah.
It has been far from it. I would even argue made it even more exciting, some of these games with just all around the country you could look at too, man. I mean, teams you were not even thinking about in week 14, you're paying attention to them, Clark.
Right.
And I think that's exciting for the sport, man. And it was just a great day watching football Saturday, not having to worry about a Georgia game, just sitting back and watching these rivals, man, and just the hatred that the two schools have for one another it's something that's just so unique to college football, I feel like, man, and just a good reminder of why we love this sport and why it's so special was a day like Saturday and Friday night.
We've got so much to talk about on this episode. So much, in fact, that we're going to have to split this episode into two.
Yep.
So this is actually part one of two. This is being released hopefully Monday morning or Monday evening. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, Monday we're releasing this one. Obviously, you're listening to it now. And then the next one, part two, will be released Wednesday. And we're going to come back to the shop where we're at now and re-record, and we're going to talk about the SEC championship game in depth. But this episode is dedicated to the Georgia Tech game and then just rivalry week all across the nation.
Zach and Whitney Murphy, our friends from down in Statesboro, Georgia, actually got a text from them this morning that asked, said like, hey, kind of jokingly, the Tech game, it needs its own recap show. Its own show. Well, here it is right here. And they called that one what the plan was. So this is what it's going to be. All about Tech. I can't get ahead of myself, Clark, because I'm going to kind of want to jump into what's coming up this Saturday, man. But what an exciting week. It's going to be great. Buckle up. It's time to roll, man.
Yeah.
Postseason football is here.
For sure.
Woo,
and
man.
December. We're in December, y'all.
Yeah.
This is just insane how quickly this flies by. We say it every year.
Yep.
But Adam, 7 straight against the Nerds.
Oh, man.
That's a great feeling right there. And we're one shy from tying I think it's the largest winning streak in this rivalry at 8. Yeah. Tech actually holds that currently, but one away from that. And we'll take a W. Obviously a very, very just unclean game.
Very much so, man.
It was
sloppy.
Yes, that's the word I'm looking for there. So we're going to talk about this in full depth. We got a weekly concession stands report, Clark's fun facts, going down, and the nitty gritty X's and O's talk, offense, defense, and special teams for Georgia Tech. We'll talk about some Week 14 games, other ones, and then Adam, I got a little trivia for you.
Oh, do you? Good.
A little SEC championship game trivia.
I love the SEC championship game. So let's.
I think I'm going to stump you.
All right. Let's do
one of these. But anyway, let me make an announcement right quick before we jump into anything else. Live call-in show,
man.
December 6th, this Friday night, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us. Blake Newman, this one's for you.
That's
he
right.
asked for this, Adam.
Oh, good. I'm glad he did, man. That's exciting. I mean, we've probably done the most call-in shows that we have done in our 4 seasons of Row 60 this year because of just how brutal Georgia's schedule's been, because we do it the night before big football games, man. And every year we do it before the SEC championship game. I mean, shoot, this is the 4th year of Row 60. 4th year in a row of Georgia playing in a Southeastern Conference championship game, man, and couldn't be more excited about it, Clark.
Yeah.
First Saturday in December, it's become a tradition for Georgia to be in the Benz, and can't wait.
Fourth year in a row. Once again, I'm going to say this next week too, or sorry, this upcoming episode. But this is the 4th time in a row that we've been to an SEC championship game. And Adam, I like to think we're the reason that is happening.
That's
Rose
right.
64 years old.
That's right.
And 4 straight years in the Benz for the
Not a coincidence whatsoever. Not a coincidence.
No.
That's right.
So anyway, join us once again, live call-in show Friday night. I hope to see you there. We'll be live on YouTube and Facebook. Hope to see all your faces. We don't get to see people. Their faces.
Their voices.
I hope
Hear
to
their
hear
lovely
voices.
voices.
Yeah.
And the passionate voices, man. I want to see the energy brought Friday night, man, and I want to hear what everybody's thinking about. I mean, a lot of just mixed feelings and about a game again that could go either way. You know, it's going to be surprising to see. It's going to be a tough challenge, but man, just ready for this team to just see if they can get healthy enough to reel off one more and then get a few weeks of rest before heading into the playoffs, man.
Yeah.
With that first round bye. So it's here.
For sure.
Regular season's behind us, baby.
That is true.
Flies by quicker every year.
Adam, I'm going to shout out some people right quick. This past Saturday, great game in terms of the atmosphere. And now we'll have a lot more to say about this in just a second. But what I'm really trying to get at is we got to see a lot of people. Truman Maffitt, patron Adam.
Oh, yes.
By,
Truman,
saw us. There's Lee South.
Brad Rutherford came by. Lee South. Been a while since we've seen them. Who
Burke Halters, the Heralds.
Yes, the Burke Halters, the Heralds, Jack Goss, man. Just the Section 108 family was there. So, it was a fun night. Last home game, more than likely. I don't know. We'll see. But last home game of the regular season, and it's always just fun to have a night game at Sanford Stadium, Clark. Yeah. Even if it's on a Friday night. I mean, I woke up Friday morning just all discombobulated. I really didn't know what to do. Yeah. Like, just kind of just sat up, like, what's going on? There's no game day to watch, you know? And it was just
that is a weird feeling.
It was a weird deal in the sense of this is Friday, and we're going to play some football tonight. It's not high school football. Yeah. It's collegiate football in Athens, Georgia, man. So it was, and the day after Thanksgiving. So I woke up full, fell out of bed because I ate so much the day before, and it was just a weird feeling all the way around.
Adam, did you get your pecan pie cheesecake?
You dang right I got my pecan pie cheesecake, Clark. Dang right. It was good.
Pecan?
I still am eating it right now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm still eating it right now. Yes, I have a big
Adam.
tray of it right now that I'm eating it that my mother-in-law makes. Is phenomenal, Clark. And yes, I got squash casserole as well.
Good.
And it was good. I mean, I got everything. I ate, and I probably have gained – I think the latest update is when I got on the scale this morning just for good measure because I just wanted interesting to see to go from, Thanksgiving weekend, ball game weekend. I weighed Wednesday morning and was going to do it again Sunday morning. Just a 5-pound difference.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really not that much.
Game.
I mean,
5-pound game, man.
After Thanksgiving? Yeah.
So, I mean, definitely indulge, and it's a blessing to be able to indulge in food like that. So, it was great. One of my favorite holidays, man. Can't beat this year. I'm ready to ramp up the Christmas season, man.
Yeah. Playing on Friday was definitely weird. I think everybody sort of woke up feeling that same way. Like, wait, we got a game today, and we got to get to the stadium. And it was just, I don't know, it was kind of weird, but, man, it was fun. I kind of liked it. I didn't like it during the game. Obviously, the first half, everybody was stressing out, and the crowd was into it for the first couple of drives, and then, man, we just lost energy, and I mean, understandably so. We're going to talk about why that is in just a little while, but overall, though, pretty fun atmosphere. I love night games in Sanford, man. Can't beat them. So, I feel like I had something else to say.
Something else on the agenda there, Clark.
Dadgummit.
What about the atmosphere?
Yeah. Maybe it was the crowd.
What about the crowd?
Let's talk about the crowd for a minute because it did start emptying out. Third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, there were a lot of people that left. I mean, I would venture to say Sanford Stadium was only 60% full going into overtime. Would you say so?
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of reasons for that. Obviously, people had gave up on it. A lot of people tired from the festivities that Thursday and maybe going into Friday as well, family. So, I mean, it was just so weird. It was just a weird feeling all night. But yeah, it was definitely, it emptied out there, and it was freezing cold too, Clark. I mean, it was absolutely just frigid. I mean, a lot of factors, and I mean, you think about it, Clark. Down 14 with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter
in your own stadium. Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
But the Dawgs just found a way. It's amazing. It's awesome, and I hate it for the people who did leave because, man, that last play when Nate Frazier broke into the end zone, I don't know. It's one of the coolest things I've watched in that stadium. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was wild, man. It was, we were trying to think about what overtime games have we seen in Sanford Stadium, Clark, and trying to think. 2019 South Carolina, unfortunately. 2015 Georgia Southern. That was awful. Well, I'll never forget just sitting there going into halftime with my hands on my knees, just thinking we are going to Georgia Southern at half, and they're in overtime, and there is no way we could lose to them. No way. And then Tech in 14, right? That was an overtime game, wasn't it?
I think so. It was either 14. No, it was definitely 14. 16 almost went in overtime. 14. We had left the stadium in 14.
Yes, we did.
We were watching in
did.
the bookstore on the big screen in there, and we watched Harrison Butker
kick the game-winning field goal.
Yeah. No, it wasn't game winner. I think they intercepted it.
No, we did a squib kick.
Yes. But Harrison Butker hit a really long field goal to tie it up.
That's right. To send it overtime. Yeah. That's what it was.
We were on the stadium.
Because we hit a squib kick and set them up in good field position. That's right. But anyway.
One thing I know I was going to say earlier, though. We're talking about it being Saturday in Athens and like, oh, wait, that's not going to be the case this week. It's going to be Friday in Athens. You kept asking, is Saturday night all right for fighting?
Play the pregame
is that going to be playing? And it didn't.
It did not.
They changed the graphics and everything.
Yeah.
Said it's Friday night in Athens.
What was the rap song that was playing?
I Put On For My City.
Oh, I Put On For My City.
I think that's Jeezy. And I want to say that it's T.I.
Yeah, the east side and the south side.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Adam, wait, hold up. I got to ask you. Who is your favorite rapper? If you just had to pick one.
I tried to get into rap in 7th grade one time.
Okay.
And the two of them there, that would have been circa 2005. I learned 2 songs, and then I abandoned the genre. It was What You Know About That by T.I.
Yes.
And then the Franchise Boys, Riding Rims.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Yeah, T.I.
And then I lost interest in rap. I just couldn't. Just wasn't me. That's all right.
Okay, fair enough.
But I love it. I respect. I mean, there's some good talent out there.
Oh, there really is.
There's some real good talent out there. But I would probably say Riding Rims by the Franchise Boys.
Okay.
Is my favorite rap song.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm a huge T.I. fan, Adam. I'm glad you brought him up.
Good.
Atlanta guy, and
Yeah,
he has some
good hits. He is. But anyway, no, the song selection was fine. I was okay with that. But there was the sound system. You could barely hear it. To get juice before the team running out, you could barely hear the song like playing. It was just, I don't know. It was wild.
I got to shout out Will Matthews, our good buddy. He said this from the get-go, that our speakers in Sanford Stadium are shot. And I cannot agree more after listening this season to it and paying more attention to it. He's exactly right. And Adam, under row 60 we have, or under the awning at row 60, we have these what look to be speakers.
I don't know what else,
but they don't do anything.
No, they don't do anything. They're just there. They're just there, man. Just like the big round ball of the globe that's underneath, it does not provide better Wi-Fi. There's no better Wi-Fi. And I assumed that what that big globe spear type thing that's hanging down is something that's supposed to get some more. What would it be? Like service, just better signal. Yeah, just kind of being a medium between us and the satellite,
right?
To pump it a little bit, get a little bit of better juice, getting connection to the satellite.
Yeah,
in a large crowd like that. But I mean, those things are obsolete. All of it up there in the raft. Yeah, so
we have got to upgrade the sound system. Josh Brooks, you got to fix this, brother.
I mean, it's bad.
It's terrible.
It's bad.
And maybe it's because, and I used to think, well, maybe it's because we sit under the awning at row 60.
It's not.
The waves, the sound waves just don't quite hit us like they do everywhere else. It's not true. I mean, I sat with Baylor and McKay and in the open section. I mean, there's an open section right in the home side.
Yeah.
And, you can't hear anything, man. Nah. It's just, I don't know. Everything just seems very...
Yeah. I mean, you go into other opponent stadiums, and I mean, it's supposed to be loud, man. Speakers are supposed to be loud, so we need to get some speakers on the field, get Bose in there to get us a good quality speaker, and get some surround sound going in the stadium or whatnot. I don't know. I'm not a tech guy like that in the sense of what's the best stereo speaker setup, but it's 2024, and I know there's can be something done with it.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
That's my rant.
All right, Adam. Weekly concession stands report.
Whoa, man. Oh,
all right.
My voice cracked there. My voice is still I don't know if it's the cold, what it all is, but it's still just.
It might be the fact that you didn't get any throat lozenges, Adam.
I didn't.
I hate that word. Gosh, it sucks.
Classic.
All right, Adam, you have a confession to make.
Yeah,
About
I do.
the weekly concession
I
stand
do,
report.
man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time that I've gone to a collegiate football game and not made one purchase from the concession stand. But Friday night, I did not make a single purchase.
Wow.
I was going to get some coffee or some hot chocolate, but where my always go-to November hot chocolate joints are in Sanford Stadium, like little cubby holes, Clark. You can just find, kind of, you got the concession stand lines, but then you got some that are just kind of off to the side. You
Right.
could get and they used to have the black souvenir cups with the hot chocolate, man, and you get them for, I don't know, $5 and get to take home a souvenir with you. I mean, it was a good bargain, And, well, they turned into beer lines.
Wow.
So that, whatever. That's a good, but I mean, I couldn't find where my hot chocolate went to.
Yeah.
So anyway, therefore I couldn't find it. And
That's terrible, man.
it's all right, man. Just, couldn't get no hot beverage there. So
That's
I
terrible.
didn't get anything, didn't get a water or anything, man. So yeah, I mean, I have to admit that I did not go to the concession stand.
But you would have had there been a
Had
hot
there
chocolate
been
line.
easily accessible hot chocolate somewhere.
Yeah. That's ridiculous, man. Gosh. I as well did not get anything. So
Wow.
this week is just a wash for the concession stand report. I'm sorry, folks. If you guys had anything, let us know.
Send it to us.
DM us,
Yeah.
email us, call us. I don't know.
But this Saturday, we get to go to the best concession stand organization around
In America?
in America. The team that plays full time in there in the National Football League might be horrific, but the Mercedes-Benz concession stands are elite. That's right.
100%. Oh, man. Good times. Good
Falcons,
times.
man. Gosh.
They suck.
Anyway,
I will never forgive them for taking that Clemson defensive tackle over Todd Gurley. You remember that?
oh yeah, what was his name?
Vic Beasley, right?
Yeah, Vic Beasley. That's right. Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. All right, Clark's fun facts. Here we go. Man, you know what? We're going to focus on the senior class. Let's give it up, Adam, for the
let's
senior
give it up
class.
for the senior class.
And
Yeah.
you in the car, don't clap, please, unless you're in the
Just beat
passenger
your
seat.
steering wheel. Just
Beat your steering wheel.
Get
Yep.
one of them numbers right there. Just beat the steering wheel.
Anywhere else, you are supposed to clap
That's right.
right now for this senior class because, Adam, this is the
Tell us about
winningest class to ever come through the University of Georgia.
Unreal.
Listen
man.
to this record.
Yeah.
And by the way, this can improve. This can get even better. This senior class is 52-4.
Wow.
52-4, folks.
Unreal, Clark. It's
crazy.
Unreal. So
And when I say senior, I mean 4-year senior. I don't mean
that's right. That's
I
right.
mean 7th year Xavier Trust senior.
Right. You mean guys who were on the 2021, 22, 23, and 24
Right.
football teams. And unbelievable streak they've had. And Clarkton, too, man. They have not lost to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
They have not lost to Tennessee.
Yep.
They have not lost to Georgia Tech.
Right.
They have not lost to Auburn.
Yes. Haven't lost to South Carolina. Haven't lost to Clemson.
Nope.
Yet. I mean, Tennessee, you could put an asterisk and say yet, because there is a possibility.
True. That's a good point. But regular season right now, just
Right.
talking about it, and they have 2 national championships and 1 conference championship with a chance to play for another, and went to the conference championship game in all 4 years.
Yeah. And they're 5-0 in bowl games. They're undefeated
That's
at home.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
never lost a
Never
game
lost a home game
in Sanford Stadium. Once again, caveat, as of now,
As of now.
could play
That's right.
regular, or a
Playoff
playoff game in Sanford. They have the longest winning streak in SEC history.
Yep.
They were at the AP number 1. They were the AP number 1 team for 39 weeks. That's amazing. They were in the AP top 5 58 weeks.
Just another hand.
Give it up.
Never thought I'd see the day, man, of a 4-year run of Georgia football like that.
That's
Unbelievable.
crazy.
This season's not even over yet. I mean, they can still just, pile up some more accolades to that.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's do it.
That's all the fun facts. I mean, there's nothing else to say. This has been a heck of a senior class. Man, good. Some DGDs in this one, too.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is, man.
This would have been Brock and Ladd's
Yeah.
senior year, too.
It would have too.
What a class. I
I'm
mean, you
telling
think
you,
about
man.
that class.
Yeah. I mean, and it's a mixture of guys that came into Athens with the right attitude, Clark. The right attitude in the sense of that they were going to carry on from the older guys who graduated a year or two before them, the legacy of leadership and just doing things the Georgia way and the standard of it there. And one thing about these guys too, there's a lot of guys who didn't come in just as 5-star talent that were developed and just blossomed. And then there were guys who were 5-star talented guys. It's a good mixture of Georgia guys, out-of-state guys, and everything.
Yeah, yeah. God, what a special group. All right, Georgia Tech. Let's go back in time. UGA's offense. Let's start with them, and then talk about Tech's defense as well. And let's start with that side of the ball first. Adam, I got to say this: absolutely atrocious first half. Probably the worst I've seen under a Kirby Smart team.
It was not good, Clark.
And I feel like we've said this before this season, right?
Yeah, it was not good. Not good.
Yeah, it was terrible. First time since 2019 versus Kentucky in the rain that we've been shut out in the first half. 0 points.
Wow. Yeah. First time since 2019 Kentucky, and that game was in the rain.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I mean, this was a bad performance by our offense. We just came out flat. Golly, I mean, where do we start with this?
Just the same Clark kind of song and dance of what if early offensive possessions we saw this Georgia team had, if guys catch the football, if this happens, what momentum builds that you go down, you score, and everything's different. But it doesn't happen, and it's just a trend of this team. It seems like that on the offensive side of the football, there's no just starting fast out of the gates. There's no just coming out hot, like driving down the field the first possession of the game and punching it in for 7.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I'm glad, obviously, that they turn it on at some point in the four quarters here and do it. But it is just frustrating of just how just uninspired they look out there too, man. And
at least in the first half.
In the first half. And one thing I was going to say is you have 5 offensive linemen who all 5 of them are banged up, have an injury, a lingering injury right now. And a lot of people do this time of year. It's the last week of the regular season in college football and a tough SEC slate. But, I don't know, Clark. I was glad to see Rod Robinson back. Good for him coming back, man, getting into some game shape. Nate Frazier continues to just come into his own and be the stud that he is every week and build up confidence every time he touches the football, I feel like. And he looks special. We talked about that in the past couple episodes and still holds true after the Tech game, man. And I don't know. It's just I think our receivers are what they are at this point. And I don't think there's going to be any elite play from the wide receiver room, Clark, but there'll be some times and some flashes that – that some plays would be made to win you football games.
Yep.
And I still think you can win a championship with this group, but I would love to see it all come together for 4 whole quarters, man. That's the thing. We still have not seen this offense put together 4 whole quarters.
Right. We're just so wildly inconsistent, man. We're so talented. I maintain that. I do think we have some really talented receivers, despite what people may say and argue with me against that. But I do think we have guys. It's not like they're just some scrub athletes out there. They have the capability, but man, you just drop balls. It's just bad routes sometimes. It's miscommunication. It just doesn't look great. It's not just them; it's our line too. And you got to give some credit to Georgia Tech's defense too. I think they played really, really well up front, at least to start to start the game. And it's just little things that pile up that make these big deficits, these 17-0 deficits. And then we got to scrap and claw our way back. We just make things so much more difficult than they have to be. Yeah. It's all unnecessary, man.
Yeah.
But you're right, Adam. If we can ever just come out and just go down the field and score on the first drive. When's the last time this happened? I can't think of it. I don't know.
The SEC championship game last year?
That's what it feels like. I really don't know.
It was, wasn't it?
I don't know. It might have happened this year for all. No, we scored against like Tennessee Tech.
No, we didn't.
First drive of the game?
First drive of the game, we scored a touchdown against Tennessee Tech.
Mm-hmm. This year?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I promise. It was to Dominic Lovett. Carson Beck hit a 40-yard bomb. I'm like 99% sure.
I thought we had like the first 3 or 4 games that we didn't score a point in the first quarter.
I don't know.
I have to do a fact check on that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going like the first 3 or 4 games that before we even scored a point in the first quarter.
You might be right.
Like on into Tuscaloosa.
You may be right. I'm getting something mixed up then. I know we've scored on like the first drive at least once this season, but that's beside the point here. Somebody fact check us. We'll go back to this and figure it out later.
I'm drawing a blank. I don't remember.
I am
don't
too,
remember.
and that's the sad thing about it. You know,
Yeah.
it's sad. I just think we have so much more capability.
Well, off a turnover, Ole Miss.
That's true. Yeah.
Short field.
But I'm saying you
Talk
get
about
the
return
ball.
the ball, yeah, and then
We
drive
get the
way
ball
through
first
field.
and-
yes,
yeah.
okay, all right. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, but I mean, I think that's something that we are going to have coming up, and this is for the next episode talk. But I think against Texas this upcoming time and going forward in the playoffs against better and better football teams, better and better opponents, that it's going to be harder and harder to get yourself out of holes against other teams from now until the rest of this this year. You can't get down 14-0, 28-0, 17-0, and expect to be able. But the thing about it, man, offense, defense, what's so great about this football team is this team doesn't quit, man. That is one thing about them. Yeah. They have heart in that aspect, man. That they're gonna give it their all until the very end.
For sure. Critical turnover by Dominic Lovett. We talked about turnovers, how that can't happen, and with about 3 minutes left, he's just carrying the ball on the inside of the shoulder on a little swing pass or whatever. And we had some momentum there, and it looked like we were going to go score and make it just 10-7. But no, we turned the ball over. Tech takes it down the field, and they score, and it's a big point swing there. It's literally a 14-point swing when assuming we go down and score. So
yeah,
tough break there. But Dominic did come back and make some huge catches. He had 2 gigantic touchdown catches, 5 receptions, 47 yards. And then 2 touchdowns. So, I like 6, but man, we just got to do the little things right, and that goes for everybody, not just him.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too, Clark. And you got to sustain drives, even if they don't result into points being scored, to be able to rest your defense, because there's way too many times in the first half, man, that Georgia just went out 3 and out.
Yeah.
3 and out like that. Drop passes on third downs, just momentum killers like you alluded to, Clark. And there's too many times, man, just giving the ball right back to Tech. And then they were able, they ate up time of possession the whole game, it felt like, Clark. And, everything we know, we've been saying this all year, all stuff that you have to improve on in order to win championships, man. And basically this offense has got to play better in the dome and Mercedes-Benz this upcoming Saturday to win the SEC championship. And everybody in that building in Buttsmere knows that, and I expect them to play different. I don't know. I can't just say what happened, why they didn't come out firing, but like you said, Clark, I feel like Tech wanted it more. Tech came out with more passion at the beginning of the game and just punched Georgia in the mouth on both sides of the line of scrimmage, dominated up front.
Yeah. Well, one guy for Georgia's, one positive, like you said earlier, Nate Frazier, man. 11 carries, a hard-earned 50 yards and a touchdown. I love him, man. I think it's good that we've got him. And then, like you said, Rod Robinson is back. He got a couple of carries and caught some checkdowns, and, they got down the field and did their thing. I tell you, Adam, one guy.
Go ahead, tell him. Go ahead,
listen, I said this during the game, and I'm going to stand by this until proven wrong or proven otherwise. Cash Jones, I'm just going to say it for the record. Cash Jones, our 4th string running back, maybe you could even argue 5th string running back coming into this year, is our best receiver right now, folks.
Yeah.
He's the most consistent. He catches the ball. Now, let me add to this. Hold up. Yes, he's a running back. I realize that. And yes, he is catching check down routes. But in terms of just, hey, I'm going to catch the ball and I'm going to get downfield and make a play, Cash Jones is it.
Well, he's deadly and freaking coming out of that kind of delayed wheel route out of the backfield on the sidelines, man.
Yeah, that nobody sees coming.
Nobody
by the way.
sees coming. It's just, but but there's been a couple times he's had defenders trailing him. A couple times he's been missed on them bad balls on them. I mean, the Florida game, I think, was one, wasn't it? And a couple of them. But, no, he's been very good. Obviously a great pass blocker and pass pro back there beside Carson. And just does a good job, too, like you said, catching the ball out of the backfield, Clark. And especially in red zone situations as a check down guy. And very proud of what he's doing this year, man. Another guy who has just done it the right way, Clark. Had a great attitude in the sense of, been buried in the depth chart the past couple of years. A lot of big-time special teams contributor, but took coaching and just got better each week and is reaping the benefits of just staying at Georgia, staying committed to this program and just getting better every day. And here he is, being a vital part of this offense.
He had 4 receptions, 53 yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. That wheel route, man. Beautiful, beautiful job by Cash Jones. Let's see. Adam, it didn't really seem like we were trying to target our tight ends much. That seems to be our MO offensively this year, is throwing to our tight ends, which I like. I think Mike Bobo earlier in the season, he wasn't throwing it as much as people like to see, so he did start throwing it to the tight ends. And I think that's been a huge part of this passing game for us this year, as inconsistent as it has looked. But in the second, third, fourth quarter, we started throwing our tight ends. They made some big catches. Lawson and then Ben Yurcik, and not a guy that, he's not going to pick up 50 yards at a time, but some good 5-10 yards a catch. And, that's big in these kinds of games. You need every yard you can possibly get.
That's right.
Oscar Delp made, a good catch or two as well. So I don't know, man. Let me ask you about this too. 2-point conversion attempt. What was that? We finally score a touchdown and we just blindly go for 2? Analytics?
Somebody with a better football IQ than I have, and that's a whole lot smarter than me, has got to sit me down and explain that one to me, because I tried to do the math in my head, the scenarios in my head of why you would do that, and my simple brain couldn't come up with it. So I really want that explained. I would love Kirby to, and he might have since the recording of this. I'm not sure of I know that you say you have a guy who has a chart and the analytics of why you do this, why you go for it on 4th down, a certain time of the game, spot of the field, go for it. All this stuff is just in big Waffle House menu spread, like laminated sheets, Clark.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that's designated that's his job to tell you during this time. So why at that particular point of the football game did you do that? I mean, the only thing I can comprehend is, do you want to go ahead and go for 2, make it 17-8, and then be able to score a touchdown and make it 17-15, and then be able to, if you need to, you kick a game-winning field goal, win the game 18-17, then you look like a genius. Or my thing on that, how I would be as a coach, I would be the more conservative approach, that you could do what you did and miss it and potentially go to overtime like we did. Thankfully, we pulled it out there. Or you get in the range where it's 17-13 and a field goal doesn't win it. You got to score a touchdown or tie it. Tie it to go in over. You have to, score a touchdown and win it. So I couldn't comprehend or wrap my mind around that. I'm sure Kirby has his reasons. I'm not one to have to question that, but somebody a whole lot smarter than me is going to have to explain the mindset on that one. What about you, Clark?
Yeah, I tried to figure it out in my mind, but like you said, it just didn't quite compute.
No.
So Adam, I went during the game. I mean, literally, this was during like a TV timeout.
Yeah.
I whipped out the old this old cell phone and I said, I went to Chat GPT on an app, used some AI, artificial intelligence, Adam, because
you know what?
I didn't quite get it.
And it showed, Clark, because I remember you showed it to me. I said, this artificial intelligence, everybody says it's going to take over the world, is stupid.
It is.
It said,
stupid.
You go for 2 in a 17-6 game to make it a 1-possession football game.
Yeah,
I said, Clark, you tell that idiot that's 9 points. That is not a 1-possession football game. I don't know, what AI Siri, whatever it is where she's coming from with that.
It needs to get a new version, an update.
It needs to be. I mean, but if we start relying on AI stuff, we're in trouble. As a country,
I agree.
As a country and as a society. But I mean, because they think AI, man. A lot of people. That's a little bit scary, Clark. A lot of people relying on AI technology, and AI thinks that a 9-point difference in a football game is 1 possession difference.
Yeah, that's pretty concerning. I did. I did type it in. I was like, explain this logic to me, and he gave me 5 different situations or ideas of why this may make sense, and none of them made any sense. So, hey, at least it didn't cost us, I guess. But I will say this one last thing about our offense.
Say it.
As bad as we played, guys stepped up.
And did and make catches and did what they needed to do.
They did.
When the times they did and never gave up, man.
But once again, it's like,
and that hurt.
Stop making it so hard on yourselves.
Yeah.
Like, we are so much better than this. I truly believe that about this offense. And we've shown so much potential.
Yeah.
And we've also shown that, man, we've got a pretty low floor offensively too. And there's really it doesn't seem like there's any in between. You're either really good a quarter and you're really bad another, or you're never like just okay, it seems like. I don't know.
And we're going to see. We're going to see what's the offense going to be like going forward. Is it going to be like what we saw during Tennessee once it kind of got rolling there at the end of the first quarter, whenever that was, or after the first couple of possessions? Or is it going to be kind of like what we've seen a trend happen in this season? And that's going to tell the tale of how far this football team goes.
Yeah.
If there's an SEC championship flag that's going to be raised at Sanford Stadium next year, or is there going to be a loss there in the early exit in the playoff, man? That's why we love the sport. This team, though, has the potential to put together an offensive performances, especially when you see the rest of the landscape of college football in this country to win a national championship, Clark. Or they have the potential to do like they've done in several games that you have an example from and lose 2 in a row and go home before Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Jeez, that'd be sad. Yeah, your football season could be totally over.
There wouldn't even be the Capital One Bowl to look forward to after Christmas, man. It's done.
Wow. Yeah. Let's not.
I hadn't even thought about it that way. God, because usually even in a disappointing year, like last year, the Orange Bowl, it wasn't a playoff, but you say, hey, after we take the Christmas tree down and put the decorations up in the attic, at least we still got some Georgia football to look forward to. One more time to watch them tee it up, right?
Golly, that
but
might
God,
not be
if you get beat on December 20th on your birthday, Clark, that's it, man. That's it. You put up the tree, and then you're thinking, what are we going to do in January? What are we going to do? So
I'm going to have to have.
You're going to have to be a father.
Yeah, have to be a dad.
You're going to have to learn to be a father. That's right. Yeah. So
that might
got
be
a little bit bigger things on your plate, but
for sure.
But yeah, I mean, so I don't know, man. I really don't know. It's Jekyll and Hyde, and I don't know which one I want to. Is it Jekyll that we want to show up, or is it Hyde? Which one?
I've never understood the story
which
of
one
Jekyll
is,
and Hyde.
I've just heard it being said, but I don't know if Jekyll is good.
The protagonist or antagonist?
Yeah.
Or is it the same person? Is Jekyll and Hyde the same person?
Yeah, same. It's just split personalities, man. I think maybe.
Okay. Man, we need to brush up on our Jekyll and Hyde. Or let's just look this up.
Why not right now? It's
now I feel
a
like an
two-part
idiot.
episode, man, and we have nothing but time and opportunity to figure this out.
All right, Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yeah. So it seems like they're actually two different people. Okay, Jekyll tries to control his alter ego Hyde. So maybe it is the same person. Yeah. Jekyll has the power.
It's kind of like Garth Brooks thinking that he was Garth Brooks and then Chris Gaines.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Can't stand Garth Brooks. But anyway.
I can't either. All right, anyway. Let's talk about the other side of the football. Georgia's defense versus Tech's offense.
Okay,
wow.
yeah.
There's a lot to say about this, too.
Yeah, a lot.
Let's start with Haynes King here. Jeez.
Competitor. Lunch pail guy, Clark.
Yeah.
Son of a football coach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you automatically, when you say son of a football coach, he is going to be able to make the right reads and really take command of a football field. Clark.
Otherwise,
be a competitor.
Otherwise, on the ride home, he's going to get his, what?
Yeah, that's right. So he leaves his heart on the field.
Right. Yes. He wears his arm on his.
He wears his heart on his sleeve.
His heart on his sleeve.
That's right.
Gosh,
yeah,
I butchered that.
But no.
Anyway, he went 26 for 36, 303 passing yards, 110 rushing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns.
Let a white quarterback rush for 100 on us.
And
Is
folks,
that true? That's
and folks, listen.
That is true.
This doesn't even include all his overtime stats. I don't think they include those in this.
No.
Which is just crazy. So he had even more. Unbelievable effort from him all night. I saw a meme or a graphic or whatever that was showing, the NCAA 25, right? CFP 25 video game, and how it shows the body and like the wear and tear, right?
Yeah.
And the whole body was red, meaning like this guy's beat up in the game. That's what it signifies.
Right.
And so they were like, this is Haynes King tonight. I mean, he was just abused all night, but man, he just kept going and
want more, man.
Yeah.
Hard.
What an effort.
That's the thing. He's a big body quarterback in the sense of, he's hard to take down, but he's shifty too. And he's patient. He was so patient. He was like a good running back who was just, as a quarterback, who let his blockers set up the block and very, very patient hitting the holes. And once he did, boom.
Mm-hmm. We said it before the season kicked off. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch our preview episode. We said this is the most underrated, or I think we said at least,
did we? Okay.
the most underrated quarterback in America.
Yeah.
Underrated, meaning he's not getting the attention he deserves. And, I mean, he proved it. He came out playing with his hair on fire. So,
I think it'll be hard for Tech to replace a guy like Haynes King.
Yeah.
I really do. And hopefully Buster Faulkner leaves their offense coordinator. Those two were perfect for each other. Buster Faulkner did a great job, Clark, of game planning for a second year against Georgia in an offensive coordinator, Clark, who truly has the ability to take a less talented Jimmys and Joes out there, the 11 that he has, against a far superior talented 11 Jimmy and Joes on the other side of the football, and do the right schemes and offense plays to keep yourself competitive, and truly should have won the football game.
Yeah.
And do like they did.
Yeah, for sure. He schemed guys open at him. He kept our defense totally off balance. Like, we did not look balanced. There were guys that just kind of looked lost a little bit.
Oh, absolutely, man. There was so much just motion and misdirection and stuff. It neutralizes your pass rushers, your ends, your whole first and second levels, I feel like. So you gain a step on them, if you get what I'm saying. In my mind, you do, by being able to do that. And when you're making these guys having to think, and then if you add other things on top of that, what the defense is trying to do in their scheme, it, like you said, it gets guys confused, man. And then when you get defensive guys confused, they can no longer take their athleticism of just instincts and react to the football, to the ball carrier, and it makes them a step behind, slow, or misaligned everywhere and bust plays. And that's stuff that leads to what we saw. And also, man, I mean, let's call it like it is. Georgia Tech's offensive line for 3.5 quarters of the football game won the line of scrimmage against Georgia.
100%.
I mean, absolutely. Never, didn't think that Tech would do this to a Kirby Smart football team in the sense of a defensive front. Manhandled them and absolutely got what they wanted through the A-gap.
Yeah.
Haynes King, the Haynes kid, all of them, I thought they did a very good job of getting theirs between the tackle, man. I think they have how many, do you have a stat on how many yards per carry they got?
Yards per carry?
I know it was 6 for a while there.
5.5.
Yeah.
Average. That's insane.
Average now. Yeah.
260 total rushing yards, 303 passing yards through the air. They got 8.4 average through the air.
That's inexcusable.
Yeah, that's bad.
I mean,
bad.
obviously glad you hunkered down and did it, what you had to do to win, but, I mean, you can't just say, you can't brush that off as, man,
Tech was 7 for 15 on third downs, so over 500, pretty good. Yeah. Here's where I think, man, they had a huge advantage in the game. Their time of possession was 37 minutes and 11 seconds. Guys, that's way more than half of the football game. This was huge for Tech. And think about what that does to your defense.
Yeah.
If they're there, if they're out there that long, of course it's going to wear them down. And I think throughout the game, man, I listen, we did not play well defensively, but we made plays. We did things we had to do to win the game. But I just think as the game progressed, like we just kept getting more and more tired, and the offense didn't help us out in the first half, obviously. So just a bad combination of things there. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was just
saying one last thing, the explosive plays. We gave up some uncharacteristic explosive plays. And what I mean by that, let's go back to the first play of the game. We stopped Jamal Haynes, their running back, for a 2-yard gain, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Stuffed him.
That's right. Big momentum getter right there.
Right, but we're sitting there trying to strip the ball, and we're just kind of halfway tackling, we're not playing to the whistle. And what does he do? He pops out, and he makes, I don't know, like a 20, 30, 40-yard run.
40 yards.
And just think about how much that just captures momentum, right?
Absolutely it does, man. Absolutely it does, because, I mean, like you said, Clark, there was a lot of times that it looked like our defense was more concerned with stripping the football than tackling the ball carrier.
And just not playing through the whistle.
Right, exactly.
Like, Michael Williams just kind of let him go, like, maybe they'll just blow the whistle here and he gets his forward progress, whatever. No, tackle him.
Cornerback scared of contact.
Maybe so.
It just seems like some of them just, I don't know, man, and I could be wrong on this. Look, and maybe I am in the sense, and I don't know enough about it to go in depth with it, but to just the average fan out there looking at it, and it looks like Dan Jackson has to help, especially the secondary, know where they're getting lined up a lot pre-snap. And you have that kind of going on, and I feel like you have some confusion, I think, in the inside linebacker spot with some defensive alignments, man. And I think there's a lot to think about in this defense of what to do. And I think that Schumann's defense asks, kind of a more of a pro style in the sense of where Muschamp was so good, I feel like Clark, where he was, his defensive philosophy was in a sense of more just guys just being able to get athletes out there and just play football, play reactionary football in a sense. And I just think there's a lot going on with some of the defensive schemes that, as far as your quarterback in the middle linebacker spot, even though, yes, they are more talented, and I know I will catch a lot of flack for this, I already have, is that Jamin Dumas Johnson was so good at being a leader and a quarterback, making sure people were lined up in that middle linebacker position. Might not have been the most athletic, but as far as making sure people were on the same page defensively in that second level, he was valuable with that.
Yeah. To be fair, I will say, I mean, Tech, you know, that's going back to my point. They just naturally,
this wasn't the first game that was like.
That's true. That's true. But naturally, you know, that's going to throw guys off. You know, the eye candy, the motions, everything. It's a hard offense to stop. I mean, it is.
Oh, yeah.
And they had a perfect game plan. And you got to think about it, too. Buster Faulkner, I don't know who said this. May have been some guy on the vent or whatever. But he literally game planned against our defense, our starting defense. He would run scout team plays, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that was his job as an offensive analyst, too, in a sense. Not only was, you know, working with quarterbacks and helping the offense, but also Kirby Smart would get him, hey, you as an offensive mind exploit what is wrong with our defense, or in the sense of where our weaknesses on defense, holes, you know, where offensive minds could potentially be game planning that could exploit us, you know, and he's done it 2 years in a row, man. That's no coincidence because he's hung out at Georgia on the staff for, you know, how many years? 2020, 2021, 2022, 3 years. So, no, he's incredible, man, and in the sense of just been a good offensive mind.
Another play in the second quarter, stretch play. Everybody is flowing to the football. We got sucked in. Chaz Chambliss, Dalen Everett, they get sucked in, and they allowed this cutback. Huge gain. It's just little things like this, guys. Like, cut this stuff out. Play disciplined football. Know your assignment. Know your role. Don't over-pursue. Everybody do your thing. And I love nothing more than getting hats to the football. But everybody's got to have a job, and they got to be in position. And we're just getting out of position. And once again, hats off to Tech. They got us out of position. But I think if we clean these things up, we'll be just fine moving forward, especially against a team like Texas who, I mean, their offense is wildly different from Tech's, and I think they're more traditionally pro style, obviously. And so that allows us to pin our ears back. It's less thinking and, hey, just get after the quarterback kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah. But, I mean, you saw what happened with A&M against them and with the Wisner kid, man. If you're not there fundamentally, being able to wrap up and pursue and have everybody pursuing to the football, then you know, I mean, they could get some through the ground for sure. So I mean, it's definitely going to be taking effort like the first time in Austin, I feel like, and but we've seen this defense capable of doing it, man. And no, it's exciting to see and exciting to see what happens. So.
Yeah, that's my next note. Two things that didn't look good: tackling, poor angles, just didn't strike on the perimeter. The blocks didn't get off blocks. First 3 and out and punt in this game versus Tech. Third quarter. This is the first time we made a punt. That's just crazy, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, as bad as we played, we did step up in the red zone, held Tech to a couple of critical field goals. One, they doinked off the upright. I love saying that word.
They did. They did.
And then obviously made the other. But, hey, Dan Jackson. We got to talk about this guy before we move on. Dan freaking Jackson, 6 tackles. Huge forced fumble.
Huge.
Safety blitz on one of those 2-point plays. Oh, my gosh, that got me juiced when he shot up through that A-gap and just blew Haynes King up.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, the guy that's just, golly, what this year's meant to him. I think he's played himself into an NFL draft pick.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the athleticism. I mean, I'm not talking about a first-round NFL draft pick, but, or I should say definitely be able to go to a training camp and get a shot to make a roster next August, I feel like, man. So, good on him, man. I mean, again, just another one of those guys that you want to have a program full of with his attitude and just took coaching every single year, worked his way up, stayed committed to Georgia, and he's reaping the reward of it right now.
Yep. Georgia special teams. Muff punt by Anthony Evans. Oh, my gosh, Adam, you got a little bitter.
That's why I don't like muff punt or like watching punt returns, man, because there's nothing more demoralizing to me than a big defensive stand getting the ball back and your punt returner muff the football, especially in a big moment like that.
Yeah, and then a missed field goal from Peyton. Kind of uncharacteristic, but, you know.
Oh, man.
It's going to happen.
The wind was blowing towards him.
Yeah.
That was not on Peyton. Do not read into that. It was just kind of a, long shot. Let's see what it could do. But the wind was whipping on the field and not blowing the good direction as far as working for Peyton.
We're going to excuse him from that one, but we need him. We need him clutch.
Not good either.
Yeah, we need him in the clutch moving forward. Here's kind of the final thoughts here, Adam. Here's what makes this team so special. They play wildly inconsistent, but, man, they are freaking resilient. We saw it against Alabama coming back in that second half. We've seen it in other places, Texas, I think, although we never were down in Texas.
Yep.
We were still fighting really hard. And so, hey, I mean, when they got down 27-13 with 5 minutes, 37 seconds left in the game, we hunkered down. We did what we had to do. And I'm going to tell you something. No other team in America would have survived this regular season schedule with just 2 losses. There's no way.
No.
And so hats off to our boys for doing what they had to do and getting this win. It's time to move on.
Putting yourself in position where you want to be at the end of the regular season, and that's a chance to do your first goal, win an SEC championship, and then win a national championship, man. So we're blessed. We're spoiled as a fan base, and, we've talked about this, what we think is wrong. What matters now is what happens from here on out, and it doesn't matter how ugly the win is, just win. Just win. And this team still, man, we've talked about it, hadn't played on both sides of the football to its highest potential, and that should scare the rest of college football.
Yeah. You're exactly right.
Will we see it or will we not? I don't know. But any average fan can tell you from the talent that's out there that this isn't what this team is capable of. If they could string together 4 quarters on both sides of the football, it would be very scary. And I guarantee nobody in the nation wants to play the University of Georgia come now, December.
For sure. All right, let's go to some other Week 14 games. Tennessee at Vanderbilt. Man, this was close for a while. I think Vandy got up to
14-0.
I thought it was 17-0. Or no, I'm thinking of Georgia Tech still.
Yeah.
14-0, yeah. Hot start by Vandy, just couldn't hold on. Tennessee made some plays. Man, what a game, though. That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, Vanderbilt came out hot, had a lot of things go their way, man, but Tennessee just too much there coming back out and converted on some big explosives that just Vanderbilt's secondary just couldn't keep up with Tennessee's receivers, man, and Nico delivered some good balls. So, hey, Tennessee punches their first ever playoff spot.
It only took
a 12-team playoff to do it, So, I don't know. I mean, yeah, good for them then. So, we'll see what happens. Probably going to have a home playoff game in Neyland, and wow. Yeah.
Congrats.
We'll see what they do.
Man, I want them again. South Carolina at Clemson. Oh, my gosh. Where's he at?
Where's Shane Beamer?
We're getting Shane Beamer out. Nice guy, Shane Beamer. 17-14.
The new mayor of Clemson, South Carolina now. Has come in there 2 times and beat them in Death Valley Jr.
That's amazing.
Oh, man.
Adam, did you see after the game the South Carolina fans who rushed the field?
Yes.
And proceeded to take their leather belts off.
And beat the Tiger Paw?
Yes.
Weird
they literally whipped the
Weird
Tiger
bunch. And I also saw a picture of who's number 0 for Carolina?
I don't know.
I think it was number 0 for Carolina. They're there, and he's got the Carolina fans, the guys behind him. And there's interesting hand placement in the picture with two of the boys. It just makes you question some things. But I mean, just having a good time. They enjoyed it. Rushed the field. Shane Beamer, man, as much as we rag on him, he's done a great job this year.
Yeah.
You could argue way back in September, you think about that game in Death Valley, or not Death Valley, excuse me, in Willie B, where they should have beat LSU, and Sellers got hurt that game, and so, but tough loss, Ole Miss, and then almost won in Tuscaloosa as well. They've had a solid year for them, and I think they have an outstanding defensive front, and Sellers has just gotten better and better each week.
Yeah.
And a team that, I'll just say it, I'm glad Georgia don't have to play.
I'll be honest. Yeah, that is the truth. All right, Auburn at Alabama, the Iron Bowl, 14-28. Alabama wins.
Yeah.
Not much to say about this one. I don't know.
I
What do
mean,
you think?
I wish Peyton Thorne could stay forever, though.
Really?
I do, man. I do. But no, I mean, Alabama just, I don't think it was just very impressive just looking at it, but I watched it here and there, and it was just a 28-14 win in Tuscaloosa. Milroe, I mean, Alabama, it just shows, I think, how bad Auburn's offense is. Alabama turned the ball over 4 or 5 times in this football game and still won and was in control the vast majority of the game. But, I mean, Alabama gave Auburn a bunch of opportunities to get in the game. They just can never do it, man. Yeah. Can never do it. So, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of games this weekend where coaches just didn't get the free points.
Right.
You know, the early in the game, you know, went for it, gambled, riverboat gambler, if you will. And you know, and a couple times where it could have loomed large that if they just take the easy field goal right there, it could be a different ball game later in the game.
Yeah. Miami at Syracuse. Adam, you called this a trap game, and sure enough, it was. Syracuse beats Miami, number 6, knocks them off. Going to be interesting to see how far Miami drops in this week's polls. 42-38. Shout out Fran Brown, man.
Yeah.
Love old Fran Brown. Did you see his post-game interview?
I heard about it. I hadn't got to see it yet. I've flipped the channel, I guess, before that came on, but I watched that game, man. Solid first year up there in Central New York, Fran Brown, mate. He's a guy who's took some Georgia guys with him, and then he got Ohio State quarterback Kyle McCord, man, and 9-3. Yeah, 9-3.
Jackson Meeks had a huge game yesterday.
Yeah, I think he's had about 5 100-yard reception games, man, and over 800, 900 yards receiving, and for the season, I believe something like that. And a lot of people are like, man, well, how come, you know, he transferred? Michael, especially when we see some of the wide receiver woes. Playing wide receiver in the ACC compared to what the schedule Georgia just had, it's a little bit different. And then some people just need a change of scenery to thrive, man. So I don't know if and it could have been. We'll never know, obviously, but I don't know if all of a sudden the Jackson Meats that Syracuse has gotten would have happened in Athens this year or not. I mean, you think about Demetrius Robertson when he was at Cal lighting it up in the old Pac-12, man. I mean, the All-American as a freshman and came to Athens and never really – so, I mean, it's
and then Auburn, too.
It's amazing. Yeah, you can't really just say, man, well, how come he didn't do it here but did it there in a different conference like that? It's just so many different circumstances, but I'm proud for him, man. No ill will towards Syracuse or any guys to transfer up there in a sense. And Fran Brown just has done a phenomenal job and a great job by Syracuse's AD to come get Georgia's quarterbacks coach and take that hire, man, in the sense of it's paid off so far.
Yeah. One game we did not put on the pick'em, and we should have definitely. I didn't think it was going to be a game, but the game. Ohio State, Michigan.
Wow.
Can you believe that, man? Michigan beats Ohio State for the 4th straight year, 13-10, and then they proceed to go plant their flag, or at least attempt to plant their flag in the middle of the O.
Yeah.
In the horseshoe.
It got wild.
Not the big house.
It got wild across the whole country as far as flag planting in the middle of the fields and scuffles during these rivalry games. But that game was unbelievable, man. I woke up and I saw, I remember all the games on at noon. It's like, man, hell, how funny would it be if Michigan beats them for a 4th straight year after Ohio State spent like $20 million to field a team to beat Michigan first and foremost, then win a Big Ten, then win a national championship. You remember the whole Caleb Downs saga, that Friday night in February where we thought Caleb Downs was coming to Athens. All these people that we paid money to get their inside information said he was coming, and then all of a sudden – he wasn't coming, and it was just a madhouse, man. And it was wild. It was wild for sure. So this game, unbelievable malpractice coaching job. I feel like Michigan don't have a quarterback that could throw a forward pass.
All right, Ryan Day, what a fraud, man. Oh my gosh. I've defended him. I don't know why I've felt the need to defend him, but I think he's kind of gotten some criticism in years past. But no, I understand now. It's inexcusable to lose that Michigan team. They are atrocious. I don't know what they're ranked exactly in terms of like offensive some of these offensive statistics, but it's got to be near the hundreds.
He's stubborn in the sense, Clark, that people have called him out that his team aren't man enough, like against Georgia teams, against, the past hardball Michigan teams, man. They can't play bully ball, and that's what they did is they went out and tried to make the defense better, the line, the trenches better, all the way around that his teams could be identified as a tough, physical football team, and that's what they tried to do, and stubbornness with his game plan offensively was trying to just run the ball down Michigan's throat in the sense and really just play just tough physical football instead of really just spreading out wide with Egbuka and Jeremiah Smith and doing that type of thing. And I think his stubbornness just got the best of him, man. And unbelievable. Yeah. There's no reason why they should have at home scored only 10 points against Michigan.
And there's also no reason that they should be in front of Georgia in this week's rankings. If they are in front of Georgia after losing at home to a 6-6 Michigan team or whatever they are, 7-5, doesn't matter. I am going to be livid.
Irate.
We're going to riot, people.
That's right.
Especially after Georgia dropped 8 spots.
Yeah.
After losing to Ole Miss. Now, granted, that wasn't a great loss, but it was on the road against a very good Ole Miss team. I don't know. I got a bone to pick with them if they do that. They try that mess. All right, last game, Texas at Texas A&M. Texas wins 17-7. Just a suffocating performance defensively for Texas. They didn't give anything to A&M. It was literally a pick six that.
Yeah,
that's the only points A&M got,
and a big goal line stand was some very questionable play calling by Texas A&M. Man, I mean, as Georgia fans, as fans of any football team, you question some plays here or there. I mean, that's a natural just fan reaction. But the calls that Colin Klein and Mike Elko gave the green light to on that goal line stand of when you have not been able to get anything up the A-gap or anything in between tackles for that matter with a dual threat guy and not being able to get him out on the edge just to see if something will happen on that 3rd and short and 4th and short time, but just run it straight back into the teeth of that Texas D-line and played phenomenal all night was just, I don't know. Just crazy. But Texas, did what they needed to do. They didn't score any points in the second half, but, had some wrinkles. Arch Manning came in a lot right there in the red zone, Clark, and kept the ball himself some. And so, something for Glenn Schumann and Kirby to look out for. And, I mean, they're already thinking that because Arch is a more athletic quarterback than Quinn Ewers. But I don't know, man. I mean, what you saw there was Texas has a good defensive line performance. I think the O-line did well. They did well in the trenches against A&M, but ran the ball well, but we'll see. Yep.
All right, up next, Texas in the SEC championship game. Once again, we'll release part 2 on this Wednesday, talking about that game in full depth, what we think, previewing it, the whole nine. So we're going to save most of that, but I do want to say this. Texas opens as a 2.5-point favorite, and I love being an underdog going into the SEC championship game. Feel like it bodes well for us.
I love it, man. I think it does. Kirby is the master motivator, and I think this team will be ready to go. I mean, I really do. I mean, it's a team that's not going to come out, I feel like, entitled because they beat Texas in Austin, feeling that way. Kirby's not going to allow that on championship weekend, man. And I love, you talked about it, Clark, I love the idea of playing Texas with Quinn Ewers, who is their primary quarterback, who is not a guy who really, I mean, we saw him a couple times break containment and be able to get out some space, and it looked like it took 20 minutes to get 15 yards up the field, but he was able to do that. But I don't think he will against this Georgia defense, man. And I like the matchup that we have against them, and I just hope our guys that we're healthy enough in key spots, especially on both sides of the line of scrimmage, man, in the trenches, to be able to come up and beat them again.
Oh yeah. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. All right. In honor of the SEC championship game, Adam, let's play a little trivia.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
That's how we'll end this show.
All right, I love it. We'll
wrap it up later.
Oh, man.
Can you name
the
starting 5 on our offensive line in the 2017 SEC championship game? You got this.
No, I don't. I really don't think I do. I cannot remember. Andrew Thomas.
Yep, he was the right tackle. There you go.
Oh boy. Now I'm drawing a really bad blank. I mean,
You're tired, aren't you?
I know, but I mean, I cannot remember.
Okay, I'll help you out here.
Lamont Gaylord.
Yep, he was center.
He was center.
Galliard, yep.
Gallard, yeah. And then let's see. Isaiah Wynn.
Yep, he was your left tackle.
He was your left tackle.
Your two guards.
Missing the two guards right here. The two guards were who were the two guards?
One was a freshman from Stevens County.
Ah,
Georgia.
Ben Cleveland. Yeah, how can I forget Ben Cleveland on there? And then, yeah, that's right. Ben Cleveland. He
And
plugged
the
in
left
later.
guard.
And then the left guard that year was
His first name starts with a K. And his last name starts with a B.
oh.
And his number was 65, I think. Pretty sure it was.
I'm drawing a massive.
Are you going to wave the white flag?
I'm going to
here?
wave the white flag.
Kendall Baker.
Kendall Baker. That gummit, man.
He was 65, right?
Yeah, I think he was. That I was not seeing that coming. Like
That's
I
a
was
tough one.
Not thinking like that was good. That was good.
That's
that
a
got
real
me
tough
good.
one.
That got me good.
We'll have to go back and do that again for a different
man,
team.
that was good. That was real good.
All right. Second one. I got
Yeah.
two more for you. This one's pretty easy, I think. In the 2022 SEC Championship game, who was the first and second player who scored touchdowns for Georgia?
Oh my gosh. The first and second players to score touchdowns for Georgia.
Think about that LSU game.
I remember that LSU game.
It was 0-0 with about 3 minutes left, and something big happened.
Oh,
quarter.
Christopher Smith. Of course.
Yes.
Christopher Smith with the block, beautiful football IQ, block field goal return.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the second one? Was it Stetson?
Stetson 2.
Stetson to it wasn't Darnell Washington. That was later in the
Great
second
guess.
half. That was later in the second half. Brock Bowers.
Brock
That's
Bowers.
Right. That's
yes.
right. I remember that one now.
We'll roll out.
It was right before half where Darnell Washington caught that ball in the back of
Yes.
the end zone.
I
Wasn't
think-
it? Yes.
Good times. All right. And then, Adam, this one's really tough, I think.
Okay.
So all you Georgia football aficionados, I hope you can get this one right. I think you can, Adam. It's going to take a little bit of time.
Oh man, I'm still stumped by the 17 offensive line. I can't believe yeah.
Here we go. In the 2005 SEC Championship game, DJ Shockley only completed 6 passes to just 4 players. Can you name the 4 guys that had at least 1 reception in the 2005 SEC Championship game?
Sean Bailey.
Sean Bailey.
Leonard Pope.
Leonard Pope.
So 4 guys. Kenneth Harris.
No.
No, it wasn't Kenneth Harris. Okay. Who would be? Did Thomas Brown catch any out of the backfield?
He did not that game. no.
Okay.
That's a good
Wouldn't
guess.
be Martrez Milner. Wouldn't- okay. Who would it be? So you have Sean Bailey, Leonard Pope. Trying to think. Muhammad Massaquoi.
Muhammad Massaquoi.
Yeah. And then the third would have been.
I'll give you a hint here. He coached at Georgia or has coached at Georgia.
Oh, Brian McClendon.
Brian
Yeah.
McClendon.
Of course, yeah.
Played a
Had
little
to remember that
DB
one.
too.
Yes, Brian
Freshman year.
McClendon. Yep, Brian McClendon. And that was it.
Yeah.
That game was awesome, man. It was. Sean Bailey scored the first 2 touchdowns,
Mm-hmm.
make it 14-0. Yeah, Brian McClendon. That's right.
Yep. So a little SEC championship game trivia. I feel like
Love
we
it.
did that last year or something. I
Did
don't know.
we? Yeah, I think we did we? But it was like teams, like history, like the whole
Yeah,
landscape
yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
But no, you had me on some of them, Clark.
Those
For
are
sure,
tough. I
for
mean,
sure.
you got to know your stuff to get even some of that right
Yeah.
for those. But good job, Adam. I'm impressed.
Well, thank you, Clark. You got me. You did get me. I thought they were going to be like just little softball stuff, but
no,
I
look,
should have known the 17 offensive line. But dang, that was 7 years ago, man.
I know. It seems like yesterday in some ways and
But when you hear the
decades
names,
ago
it's like,
others.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I have the line is when the one position group, the offensive line more so than the defensive line, where players and years run all together.
Yeah,
Man.
I'm with you there.
Golly.
It's tough to keep up, man. You always got to learn new names every season, and we're getting
Yeah.
older, and there's more names to add every season.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I posted a fun reel today on Instagram, basically asking like, who is a guy that you would say his name and like true Dawgs would know. And
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been seeing lots of different people, and Leonard Pope was on that list, and Massaquoi. There's a lot of
Oh,
guys
yeah.
like that. So
That's
Good
great,
times, man.
That's good stuff. That is good stuff. That was an interesting fact. How did you figure out the 4? How long did it take you to figure out there was only 4 receivers complete? Did you go back and look at the box score?
I had to go back to the box score.
Then
Yeah,
I'm
on
gonna look at this
ESPN.
random stat. That's good. That's good.
And then I had to get like some hints just in case you needed them, but you didn't really need them for that. So I'm
that's
impressed,
good.
Adam.
That's good stuff. That's
You're
good
a
stuff.
Georgia football aficionado
Try to
and
be.
walking encyclopedia.
Try to be. Try to be. My memory's getting rough with age, though. It really is.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, if you
Man,
enjoyed
that's
this
exciting.
episode, please make sure to leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to us on YouTube as well. That helps us a ton.
Yep.
And hey, we're here. We're going to be here again this week, this Wednesday. We're dropping
There's no
another
score
episode.
prediction right now.
No
is there?
score
So there's
prediction.
no like big ending to this. Like, hey, next time we hear from y'all, we're going to know if we're SEC champions or not. This is
Right.
weird.
Yeah.
So how do you sign off this thing?
Adam, I don't know. You
All
got
right,
to
we'll
figure that out.
Okay, all right.
So
all right.
I'll let
All
you
right.
have at it.
All right. Oh,
Give
that's
us a
it.
pep
Are you
talk.
done?
I'm
Are you
done.
done?
We're done.
All right, man. Hey, I love the fact that we're going to be doing another one of these bad boys too, Clark. So, wait, look, I'm still recovering from Friday. I'm not going to lie. I'm still
Me too.
physically just that celebration, Clark. Before we end this thing, man, the celebration video, I tried to get over the wall, but you hampered my ability to get over the wall because you landed on my leg. And I couldn't. And then I had a split second thought of I can't get over the wall right now because my leg is pinned between Clark and a concrete slab. And I can't move right now. So then I had to readjust what I was going to do. But I was trying to get over the wall to go sprint in the corridor, get a little space, a little real estate. And run then. So, I mean, I know people have seen that video, but I wanted people to know what was going on during that moment that I was trying to get over the wall, but I got pinned down.
Well, hold up.
My
I
leg
was
got pinned
also
down.
trying to hop over with you. I didn't have any elevation to begin with, zero momentum, zero vertical.
I got to the wall and I said, it was like Humpty Dumpty right there, man. And I was like, oh man, which way do I go? Do I really want to commit to this or not? Because I was not in a good position to land on my feet. And it wasn't just a massive fall, but you're hitting concrete from a decent little height right there, you know? And I mean, it wouldn't have been good to land on your head or whatnot. So yeah, I had to make an audible right there to come back. So I'm kind of glad you hung me up in a second right there to kind of come back to realization I probably just need to stay seated instead of getting over the wall right there. So, but no, great time, man. That's what it's all about. I know I can't, hey, send us in what y'all did when Nate Frazier scored that game touchdown.
Wait, we got to shout out our boy Rich Beck.
Oh, yes.
In the
absolutely.
snow,
In
man.
the snow. Oh, yes. Beautiful. Elite video by Rich Beck up there in the blizzard in Buffalo, New York, letting the people of Buffalo know who's the best college football team in this country. It's the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yes, sir.
Great celebration. Snow Angel and everything. Love that commitment, Rich Beck. But we will be back with another episode midweek. Everybody wear the red and black this week, man. Look, teams would die to be in the SEC championship game. I know there's been a lot of talk on did we want to be in this or not. No, this game is special, man. It's been special since 1992. And every time Georgia gets to play in it, never take it for granted.
Yes, sir.
Winning the SEC championship is just as hard as winning a national championship, especially with these new teams now. So take pride in that. It'll be another trophy in Butts-Mehre, another banner in Sanford Stadium, a first round bye in the college football playoff. A lot on the line, baby. In Atlanta, in our home state, the new kids are coming in, man. The darlings of the SEC, the darlings of the people in Birmingham now, is Texas. The big money's coming in to Atlanta, to Georgia. Let's show up, show out, whether you're at home or in that stadium. Be fired up this week. Enjoy it. Wear your red and black. Get loud. Catch us later on in the week. Then the call-in show. We'll be with you all week. You
That's
ain't
right.
getting away from us this week. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Baby.
Hoo, hoo, hoo.